I am a person with a lot of hobbies. Some of them I'm pretty good at, the rest I kind of suck. But the point is, it doesn't stop me from trying new things and enjoying my hobbies. And in this video, I would like to make a thorough review of all of the things that I have tried. How much does it cost? Is it easy to do or is it fun? So that if you are searching for a new hobby, you could just watch this video and maybe find some inspirations. All of the hobbies that I mentioned today will be rated in 4 categories. We have cost, benefits, fun, and easy level. And let's start with the first one already. I want to start the video with crocheting because most of you guys probably have seen one video of me doing it and you guys love it. So I have been learning crocheting for like 6 months, and here are some of the products that I made during those times. Before I go any further, I would like to use this opportunity to flex my crochet cupboard that I built by myself with the help of a German boyfriend, of course. So it's like 2 cupboards, one small, one big, stick together. The first one is where I put my final products. Here is where I keep all of my thing to make crochet, which is not yarn. Down here is my yarn collection. I bought this thingy from IKEA and you can just put yarn in here. Over here is more yarn. I even have like one that is super messy, so I can just take in, take out, throw them in immediately. This cupboard is one of the proudest things I have in the house, and I just want to show you guys that. Now we can be back to the video. If you have little to no patience like me, crochet is actually perfect for you because it is easy to do and it is super fast to see result. I mean, obviously you have to be wise when you choose the first project. Go for animal like this. They are incredibly easy. Basically, they're only 1 stitch and you just keep doing it and you have a cute little animal in like an hour, half an hour. So for the difficulty level, I'm gonna rate it 1 star out of 5. It is that easy, believe me. Try and start it. Let's talk about cost. Honestly, I think crochet is a very cheap hobby. A set of like 5 crochet hook would cost you around 10 euros. And then the more expensive part is just wool. Normally, I would go to those dollar store shop. They also sell wools and they work well too. So I would give around 2 stars for the cost. I think crocheting is really fun. Before I'm doing this, I was having kind of a bad time getting addicted to social media, honestly. And that's why I'm trying this hobby and it works so well. I didn't touch my phone for days. That is why for the fun part, I'm gonna rate it 4 out of 5 stars. And last but not least, let's talk about the benefits of crocheting. I think the biggest value is that it relaxes you, make your mind empty. The other benefit is that you're going to be the cool friend who gave your friend crochet gifts. So yeah, crocheting is definitely a skill that would come in handy for sure. So I'm gonna rate the benefit of this hobby 3 out of 5. I consider myself an excellent baker. When I live in Vietnam, there is no oven. There is nothing like baking at home or eating cake at home because it's just not in our culture. So when I moved to Germany, German boyfriend has an oven, like many German people. And also it was the pandemic when I moved in. I cannot go out. And that is why I was baking a lot during those times. It became my favorite hobby that year. I baked like 1 cake per day. German boyfriend even need to give me like a intervention to like stop me from baking. I really like Japanese or Korean cake, like jiggly cheesecake. For me, Western cake has a lot of butter and flour and milk and oil in it. But for Asian cake, all of those heavy ingredients are not there that often, and mostly the cakes are very fluffy and light, so you don't really like gain a lot of weight. So let's start the rating with difficulty. I don't think baking is hard at all. Like some cakes are so easy, you just need to mix 3 ingredients, put it in the oven, and you have yummy cake. So I would definitely give this a 3 out of 5. Cost. It's actually a very expensive hobby, I'm telling you guys. Once you get into this, you need to have so many cooking tools, all of the spatula and then the egg whipping and then the different tray so you can bake it. So yeah, this is a 5 out of 5. Let me see if baking is fun. Baking is fun and frustrating at the same time. The problem is there's so much to clean every time, and that is, I think, one of the reasons why I kind of stopped baking for some years now. And you never know how would the cake turn out. So sometimes it's just frustrating because it failed several times. But when you make it and you finally make a cake. That is good. It is one of the happiest moments ever. So I think I would rate it 3 out of 5 stars for the baking hobby. And the last one, benefits. As I mentioned, the problem with baking is that it makes my boyfriend gain weight, and I don't want him to gain weight. And it's honestly not that healthy. But when you have friends coming over or when you have parties, it's just super cool to just bring your own cake and then let everyone eat them and give you compliments and then being impressed by your skills. So I would say it's a 4 out of 5 stars. Board game is not only my hobby, but also my boyfriend's hobby.
Yes.
That is why he would like to join in this part of the video. And he said he would like to give you guys a tour of his board game collection before we talking about it. So you ready, honey?
Yes.
Let's go.
So up here is where we keep most of our board games. Here are some, you see, many different genres, like party games or even strategic games. Like everything is kind of packed. I think board games are a very cool hobby. You find board games for everyone and for each occasion, and it brings people together.
So let's rate it like with difficulty.
That's hard to say because yeah, that is the cool thing about board games. Like it depends what you decide for. When you go for a round of Uno, then difficulty is definitely 1.
Yeah.
When you go for a round of Tesla versus Edison, then you're at difficulty at 5.
I would rate it 4 out of 5 stars because I find board game in general quite hard to start with. Okay, the cost. I think board game is quite expensive as a hobby. Like I feel like my boyfriend has poured in at least 2,000 euros.
You saw how many board games there were. Of course, that's at least 1,000.
Like 3,000 euros. What drives me crazy is that sometimes he starts buying board games and then he didn't play it.
It's the fault of this lady because whenever I bring a new game to the table, she's like,
I don't know,
let's play something we know. I mean, maybe you saw it in the cupboard. There are even some still wrapped.
Normally, a game would cost anywhere between 10 euros to 50 euros. So I would say 5 out of 5 for the cost. It's one of the most expensive hobby that we have in this video for sure. How much would you rate the fun element of board game, honey?
Yeah, and that is what I wanted to say. Like there's the right board game for everyone. So I would actually rate it 5 out of 5. You just need to play like with the right people.
Okay. And last but not least, the benefits of board game. Here we are using the ranking with I cannot pronounce that word. Comparison with the rest of the hobby that I have here. That is why I'm gonna say that the benefits of board game is not that much. For board game, you kind of just basically have fun. That's a good benefit, but it doesn't have like a lot of like physical value.
I disagree. I really feel like it brings people together. Like for example, with Uyen's nieces, I couldn't really talk.
Oh yeah.
Or I could talk with one of them, but of course I brought board games. So we could play with each other and we're having a good time.
Yeah.
I even learned how to count in Vietnamese just by playing the board game. Yeah, I would say 3.5, I would say.
Okay, thank you very much.
So another hobby of mine is the gardening.
I'm here as the model to like showcase his garden.
And I want to show you some parts of it now. The person who brought me into gardening was actually my grandpa. He had a garden when I grew up and he grew a lot of vegetables there. What's most important to me while gardening is that I want to provide a safe home for our wild animals living here. What I really love about the gardening is that you can always find new projects to do. Like last year, for example, I digged out this pond and since then I'm constantly working on it, improving it. Or over here, my newest project is drilling holes here and try to grow mushrooms. So there's always something to do and that's what I love.
Okay, let's start with the rating. Difficulty, how much would you rate it?
I don't know. I think you need to do some research and stuff, but I don't find it that difficult. But of course, it keeps you busy. I would say 2 out of 5.
Okay. What about cost?
A friend of mine actually started gardening and he just took plants from every friend he has who has a garden and got all of the plants for free. But like, of course, you can spend a lot of money on it if you want to. So I would go to the middle again and say like 3.
Okay.
Out of 5.
Okay. What else? Fun.
fun. For me, it's a lot of fun, and I really love it for calming down, relaxing, recharging my battery.
I feel like German boyfriend spend more time in his garden than time with me.
That is not true at all.
Sometimes I'm jealous of his garden. You better be careful, honey. Spend more time with me, or one day you wake up and all of your plants are gone. Benefits. I think gardening has a lot of benefits. Like you're out in the nature, you're doing a lot of exercise.
Yeah, I mean, it's also like exercising. Like digging out the pond was like a whole workout for weeks.
Okay, ready, sir.
4
5 out of 5. 5 out of 5.
Okay,
I see no problem with
5
that.
out of 5 then. My parents were just here for visiting, and they always had breakfast in the morning outside looking at the garden, and on the last day my dad said, I will miss this view. That was touching me.
I learned how to sew during the beginning of the pandemic. At that time, there was almost no mask in Germany, and I decided to make some masks for myself and my boyfriend and his family, and then I got hooked until now, and it's been 4 years. The only stitch I know is just like forward, like like this. It's just like a straight line, and still it is incredibly helpful. So definitely it's not that hard to do if you just want to have a little bit of fun. That is why I'm going to rate the difficulty level 2 stars out of 5. Okay, so this is not a very cheap hobby like crocheting, because you need to buy a sewing machine. Obviously, there would be cheap or second-hand sewing machine. I went for a new one from Brother. You could also buy sewing machine from Singer too. It's also very good. And I think my one costs around 200. But yeah, but rather than that, like the thread is so cheap, so it doesn't really matter. I would say for the cost, this is a 4 out of 5 stars. Is sewing fun? I would say it's not as fun as crochet, because you have to be very focused when you sew, because it's happening very fast and there is a very sharp needle, so you don't want to mess up with your clothes and your project, and you don't want to hurt yourself. So for fun, I would rate it 2 out of 10. Honestly, when I first learning how to sew, I thought that I could start making super cute dresses for myself. And then I tried a lot with like old fabric that my boyfriend's mom gave to me, and it didn't work out at all. So making clothes from scratch is out of the questions. But you know what is super valuable about knowing how to sew? You can fix literally everything when it comes to fabric in your house. All of my clothes, if it's too big, too small, I would just fix it. And you know what? It gave me so much confidence. It made me believe that not only just clothing, if I want to fix anything, I could do that. And just because of that reason alone, I am going to put the benefit, the value of this skill to 5 out of 5 stars. This is a skill that I would definitely recommend everybody to know. I find people who know how to dance very cool. It is one of the most attractive things you can do, in my opinion. And that is why I have been taking dancing classes, because I want to be cool. Anyway, so it's been 8 months. I have at least 1 hour of dancing class every week. And I think now I'm ready to show you guys my progress so far. As you can see, I learned nothing. Am I disappointed? Yes, I was shocked and disappointed at myself too for some time. But honestly, I gave up completely with the hope of like one day I know how to dance. That is why for difficulty level, I have to rate it 5 out of 5. Extremely hard to do. The cost. So dancing costs a little bit more than other hobby. I pay around 18 euros per hour, so I would rate it 4 out of 5 stars. So let's talk about fun. This is one of the activities that you do with other people. It's a very socialized activity, and I definitely think that if you want to like meet more people, definitely dancing is a great idea. And the thing is, when I dance, I need to remember what is my left leg and my right hand should do and things like that. I just don't have time to overthink anymore. And it's actually really great. It's like a relaxing time to just like, you know, sweat a little bit and focusing on the music. So I definitely think it's a 5 out of 5 fun activity. And last but not least, benefits. Come on, dancing is good for you. Go out, move a little bit. It's good. Also, making friends, as I mentioned, good benefits too. So in general, very good hobby, 5 out of 5 for the benefits too. I love music. I love listening to it. I love creating it, not like writing music, but you know, making sounds that is sounding like music. And that is why I really want to learn to play at least one instrument. And after doing a lot of research, I decided to go for ukulele. It's like one of the most beginner-friendly instruments out there. I have been playing ukulele for around 6 years. After I moved to Germany, I had too many hobbies and I kind of stopped doing it. I haven't touched it for a while, so I guess without practicing, all I could do now is strum, but I'll show you. I have nails now, so it's hard to play. You can use ukulele as a bass for your singing, so you sing and then you strum at the same time. Or if you have like horrible voice like me, which is nothing to be ashamed of, it's not that fun to sing with the ukulele. So normally what I do is I'm going solo, like plucking, like... Actually, I'm practicing a lot and I have learned many songs. I'll show you guys because I filmed them because I was very proud of them. So difficulty, I think it's going to be a solid 2 out of 5 stars. It is really easy, like surprise, like compared to dancing. Cost. So I think I paid, my first ukulele was about 10, 15 euros, extremely cheap. And now this one, I think I paid around like 200 euros for it. But you don't need to pay that much for an ukulele. You could buy second-hand ukulele or even cheap ukulele. As a starter, it's kind of okay already. So I would say the cost would be 2 out of 5 stars as well. Next is fun. I think the best part about learning how to do an instrument is that when you're practicing on it and then you finally finish a piece and then you can play it from the beginning to the end, like you feel super satisfied with yourself. So I would say it's 4 out of 5 stars. Fun for me. And benefits. In general, I think learning how to play an instrument is helping a lot with your brain. Like you kind of like training your brain to remember things, and it also relaxing. It calm you down, make you feel happy. And also I think it's kind of cool. This could be a party trick too. So I would say it's definitely 5 out of 5 benefits. Photography is not my hobby, but it's German boyfriend's hobby. So he would like to talk about that with you guys and possibly flex some of his picture as well. So the stage is yours, honey.
First of all, this is my camera. My name is Mikey. It's Canon EOS 700D.
How much do you pay for Mikey?
I think 600 euros at that time. I think she was the most expensive thing I possessed at that time.
Aww.
And then I was saving more money for buying like the macro lenses because my favorite motif are insects. So I started taking pictures when I was a little kid. Got a camera out for my birthday and was basically taking pictures from my finger because it was covering the hole. But it was pretty fun.
So let's start with the ranking. Here's the difficulty. How much do you rank photography?
Yeah, like there's a lot of stuff to learn so that you're actually satisfied with your pictures. So maybe I would actually rate it 4. Like,
really? I don't know, I would say it's pretty difficult to rate because it's definitely quite difficult if you want to take good picture with a big camera. But it's not like we want to scare you off if you want to try photography as a hobby. Because it's actually, if you want to make it simple, it could be very simple.
The cost point is a little bit difficult. Like I already said, like you can get a good camera for like 500 euros, I would say. I mean, usually you have a camera and then you have different lenses. Yeah, and like to buy all of this is pretty expensive. But yeah, when you just want to take pictures of people, I would say 3 out of 5. So fun?
Yeah.
It can be very fun. Yeah, definitely. Just being with your camera and some friends and then goofing around, taking pictures, having something to remember. Yeah, 4 out of 5. So benefit, like as I just said, like when you have like friends meeting or you go on holiday and stuff, you can take pictures and remember it. And yeah, maybe you can take some passport pictures or profile pictures for friends. So I would say 3 out of 5.
Thank you. Thank you for very thorough analysis. So the next hobby is also from German boyfriend, and I really have nothing to say about it. So let him just start talking then.
Trigger warning, you will see insects now.
Hey.
Hi. So my next hobby are that I have terrariums and I keep stick insects. This one is Myronides glauca. Stick insects are those kind of insects that have camouflage to look like a stick or like a leaf or like a piece of wood. This little dude species is Epidaris nullimetangere, which means like don't touch me in Latin.
The relationship between me and the stick insect is like housemate. They are there before me, so I kind of have to live with them.
This species is called Heteropteryx dilatata. When she feels threatened, she will raise her hind legs, and when you get close to her, then she will punch you with those tiny spikes here. Why so distant?
I'm pretty sure they are mating with each other.
Who told you that?
I am being very uncomfortable about this. I am not concerned to seeing insect sex on my channel.
So this is Peruphasma schultei. They're from Peru and they're native to a very small area there, which is just like 5 hectares big, if I have the right.
Okay, your time is over. Bring it back. Bring it back.
Bye-bye.
Okay, let's go through the rating again.
Okay, so difficulty. It's pretty easy actually. You just need a terrarium, big enough of course, and then you put the bramble inside, put some soil inside, and yeah, that's basically it. So 1 out of 5. Then the cost, also for like those simple species, the costs are super low. The most expensive thing is maybe the terrarium. You don't need a heater. The room light should be enough most of the time, so yeah, I would say so 1.
No.
Okay, so maybe 2 out of 5. So then fun. I don't know. I mean, yeah, you can watch them, you can see their behavior and things. So I would say there is some fun. 2.5, I would say.
What?
Don't you think so? Benefit?
Well, I could think of a benefit whenever his friends coming over. They always demand to see the insect. So it could be like a nice tour to show friends.
Yeah, that's kind of true. And you can also study animal behavior, biology. You see how they lay eggs, you see how they hatch. So also at least 2.5, I would say.
Are you really like this hobby, Annie?
I don't know. I just don't want to oversell it. Okay, so if I go for myself, okay, so let's say 3 fun and 3 benefit.
Okay, okay. Thank you. So I think this is the end of the video. I really hope you found something interesting in all of the hobbies that I list here, and maybe you could try something new. So thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.